All right, Patrick. This is a bye week for the Vikings, which means it is a self-scouting week internally. They're going to go through all the different things and self-scout the areas they can get better. What is your just general state of the 5-1 Vikings here after the first leg of the season?
So what's with the Odell rumor? Is it going to happen or not? What do we think? It seems like they're trying to get some guys to restructure contracts, and there were some third rate sources putting out yesterday that he was headed here, and is that a huge need right now? Another receiver? I don't know. Is it? I mean,
Judd, you're the one stirring the pot on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Here.
I think the potential for another guy that could stretch the field, to use some football terms, Pat. I think that's what they'd like, but it sounds like we got a note from a guy who was in Miami for the Vikings game, saw Odell, and actually said and took pictures with him, talked to him. And Odell said, "I am either going to the Bills or the Chiefs, wherever I can, quote, get the bag."
Okay. So he thinks he wants to go somewhere and win, in other words, then, huh? Play with the great quarterback and win. But the Chiefs had to let their receivers go. Do they have any money? The Chiefs I suppose they'd have to go to Mahomes and let him give him.
Yeah, I don't know how that works like middle of the season, but so this is one of the years that they kind of didn't touch his contract. So this is going to get way in the weeds, but he signed that big 10-year contract, and last year they tapped into it right away, and they brought his cap hit down to $7 million so they could fix the offensive line. This year they left it close to 40, so that because Tyreek Hill's gone.
Yeah.
So could they tap that contract? And I love the bag, by the way. The bag is my new favorite. For someone who wants a lot of money, they want the bag.
Is that right? Okay, I missed that.
We all want the bag, Pat. That's what we all want now.
Well, I was when I heard it yesterday, I once again went flying. It disappeared from my phone. I went through all my own phone numbers, and I can't find his mother's phone number. My pal, Heather Van Norman. She was in my phone contact list for 2 phones ago, and when I got my second new phone, it disappeared along with a lot of other numbers. And I thought it was in my old address book, and I looked it up, and it's not in there. So I don't have her phone number. So now I don't care if he gets signed here or not, because I could get a free column out of it if he got signed here with my old pal Heather. But he'd be fun, wouldn't he? He'd be fun. I mean,
yes.
He's goofy, and he's fantastic when he's healthy. He's been hurt all the time, but he'd come in and he is a field stretcher more than Jefferson. He can run right by you. So the hands are fantastic, and he'd come here and want to win. I don't think you'd have to give him a long-term deal, right? He'd take it for the rest of the year, and then hopefully get his. It is astounding now how he's managed to screw it up at so many places, isn't it? Because as good as he is, he should be a number one someplace, but he ends up driving them all crazy with his goofiness. But I don't know. He come in here. There's enough footballs for all of them. I think they should just be more of a passing team than a running team. That'd be great. Beyond that, I would say I was really down on the defense until last week, and they looked pretty good defensively last week. So, they're going to win the division. That's a 100% given. They're going to win the division. So, what's wrong with that? They'll be in the playoffs, and they'll get to play at home. So that'll be good, right? I don't know. I do think. I've said this a few times. They do seem to be using up a lot of their luck, don't they? I mean, because the football seasons are not. You usually don't go 1 through 17, and then the playoffs with nothing but good things happening to you. You know? So I think there's some bad luck awaiting them, and but they're pretty good.
They are. We undercovered.
Team is good.
Yeah. Well, we undercovered and I don't know, I think this probably falls into the skill category, actually, but they are the highest scoring team inside 4 minutes of each half this season. No team has scored more points in the final 4 minutes of the first and second half than the Vikings. It was not that way last year.
No, last year they were the most vulnerable in the last 2 minutes of each of the half and the game. They lost virtually. What the astounding stat was the last 2 minutes of the first half, how they let teams back into games, right? And it was, obviously at the end of games, this happens all the time that when teams have a chance to win and they have the ball last, they score. But what went on before the first half was incredibly bad last year, and that's been really good this year. Now they have stretches. It was a little alarming to go into 3 minutes into the second quarter. They'd had 6 plays last week. I mean, they have had some stretches that have been unbelievable, but they're pretty good. They're 5-1, and they're going to be, I think 12-5 is really reasonable now, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. That schedule has, like, if you look at, it's got Buffalo. One of the New York teams might give you a little bit of a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I mean, and the Cardinals came back and won last night, but the quarterback and coach were basically screaming at each other on the sideline. So I like your chances there if you play a decent game, right?
Yeah, Andy Dalton had more to do with losing that game. More to do with that game than Kyler Murray did. But yeah, it is. The old Kyler is going to be a good guy and study hard and be and get his act together. Clause in the contract seemed to kind of blow up yesterday. But then again, maybe Kingsbury is an idiot. Maybe that's why he was yelling at him. So.
Is Kyler? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is Kyler a jerk or is Kingsbury a moron or just a nice combination of both?
One of the oddest hires of all time, though. We talked about it before. The guy gets fired out of college and ends up, getting lured away and hired I know he was going to be the offensive coordinator at Southern Cal, was it, or someplace? And then did he ever serve in that role, or did he? No,
nope. Because he had a sandwich with McVay on some arbitrary Wednesday, and the Cardinals said, "Well, if you ate with Sean McVay, you must be qualified for this job."
You're in the same building as him. So McCaffrey ends up going to San Francisco. That wasn't the rumor he might be going to the Rams, but he ends up going to
the Rams. Were in on it too.
And they gave up a second, a third, a fourth, and
then another future pick. Yeah,
the West Coast boys, don't worry about them draft choices. Let's
they don't. Well, and San Francisco traded a bunch of draft capital to move up to get Trey Lance, and then just brought Garoppolo back in after the injury. So, what a weird situation in San Francisco.
Might have brought him in even without the injury, from what we saw at Trey. So he's not ready. He's not ready to play. But really, they get the commies. They're awful. Right? They can't lose to them. And then and then is it Arizona?
No, it's Arizona a week from Sunday.
Then the commies.
The commies are November 6th.
Okay.
In Commieland.
When do they go to Buffalo?
Is that the end of the month?
Yeah, I'll pull up the schedule here just to get we want to be factually correct here on the show.
There's a possibility we're going to have a staff opening on the at least on the Garage Logic podcast, because I believe Reavers is going out to that game. So
yes, he loves Buffalo. He just randomly loves Buffalo.
Yeah, he's got buddies in Buffalo.
Not the only one in town who randomly loves.
So it's Arizona, and then at Washington, then at Buffalo the next week on November 13th, and then you get the 3 straight home games: Dallas, New England, Jets.
They'll win 2 of those. They'll be 7-1. 7-2, 9 they'll be 9-3.
9-3. Okay, we might as well just continue this out here. So 9-3, and then at Detroit,
10-3.
Home against Indianapolis. That's a sneaky hard game.
Yeah, they'd have to work to lose it.
How about also? I'll broaden it.
Jonathan Taylor done for the year, or is he going to be back?
I think he's supposed to be back.
Okay.
I hope so.
He's very
for
important to that.
financial reasons for
I was
Olin.
going to say, how's your fantasy team doing, Phil?
Indy. So I'll give you this back-to-back home game. So we're 10-3 there, and then Indianapolis and the Giants back-to-back weeks. Maybe they split those games.
Yeah, at worst. 11
Okay.
and 4.
So 11-4, and then you got at Green Bay, at Chicago.
They're okay. 12-5. That's the
Wow.
worst they can be. They could be better.
Is that kind of crazy that they're kind of tracking for 12-5 at this point?
Yeah, they are. It's now again, the A luck, but B, they're pretty healthy. It depends
Very
upon
healthy right
bad
now.
things happen. Now this would be a good year for Donnell Hunter to get hurt again, to be one of your big losses, because he isn't doing anything anyway. So if he gets
Although
hurt,
Za'Darius has the third most pressures
he's
of
a
any
monster.
player in the league.
He's a monster, and Patrick Jones is playing better than in the line than doing more than Hunter's doing. So what happened to who's this guy? He's
Patrick Jones,
Is he
round, the
is
one
he a
third round
Spielman?
pick from that draft who worked out. The one
That's still
third
on
round
the
pick
team.
from the Mond. The Mond third round, 4 guys. I think
Okay.
3 of them are gone. Chaz Surratt is gone. Patrick
Spielman.
Jones.
More bows to Spielman. Let's give some bows to Spielman. Dantzler.
You know what it feels like, Patrick? It feels like one of those years where if your luck is going to run out, it's not going to happen until the playoffs.
Yeah. I've been saying that this is one of those years when
This feels like a
you go flying in at 13-4, and Tarvaris Jackson throws a pass to Asante Samuel, and it goes the other way, and you get beat, and it's all over, right?
Lucy's got the ball, and Charlie Brown's about to kick it, and it's the divisional round.
Yes, that's true. So, but hey, in this market right now, they're the kings of the place. Gentlemen, I saw a hell of a baseball while Judd was watching hockey last night. Hell of a ball game. That was a really good ball game. The Astros and the Yankees last night.
I'll admit, I saw none of that baseball game last night.
The Yankees made some plays, man. In the field, they were the shortstop, but not our guy, the Peraza kid, not IDK or whatever the hell.
IKF. Put some respect on his name.
He was here for a half hour, Royce. Come on.
He wasn't playing, but they got a guy named Peraza. He made a fantastic play, and the second baseman made a fantastic play to turn into double plays. And it was a hell of a game, very tense. And Presley gets the last 3 outs again. He walked one guy. He walked another former Twin, Josh Donaldson. Man, he was 33 out of 37 saving games for that team, and now he's gotten 7 outs in 2 nights to win the first 2 games of that series. So that was a really good ball game, one of the best I've seen, because it wasn't shoddy in any way.
Mm-hmm. Since we've gone down the baseball path, I got to ask you, Patrick. The first baseman in the American League Gold Glove finalists.
Wow.
How on God's green earth, and I long ago accepted that the Gold Gloves were largely fraudulent. So I'm not even saying this from a point of, I can't believe it. But it's one of the stupidest things I've seen that Luis Ariz is a finalist for a Gold Glove.
It's the manager and the coaches too. It's that do this.
But do they get you down to the final 3, or do they just vote now?
No, they vote, and these are the final 3.
Okay.
And then
okay, yeah, okay.
I don't know who votes for the final 3. They are the ones who have selected. From what I read, they are the ones who selected these guys. Now, I used to take those ballots because the Sporting News was involved in some way, but you had to go to the players then, and the players voted then, and I had to tell them, no, this is who you want to vote for. They had that it was more explainable than having them come up with, now I said he played okay. I thought he played okay at first base, but I think he only played 69 games at first base. But yeah, I agree with you. What the hell is it? I mean, the fat guy from Cleveland is better first baseman than he is, right? When he
Yeah,
plays.
he only played 500 innings. That he doesn't even qualify on the Fangraphs rankings. So
No,
he
no,
only played 500 innings at first base.
it is idiotic. It's it just shows how involved the managers and the coaches are. They don't care. So why don't they get a panel of 12 people who actually pay attention and have them come up with the final three, or if they feel like they need to have the final three.
You know what this proves? Not even people in baseball watch baseball. That's the problem in 2022.
That is true. Oh, I mean, for 20 years, people have proudly, you talk to guys in the clubhouse, they probably say, well, I don't watch games. Not only in baseball, other sports, they say, yeah, I don't watch games.
I'm watching the NBA. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, right. It is.
I was watching the Grizzlies.
It is. How about our panel of Baseball Writers Association of America locally heaping every piece of hardware we had on Correa, man. MVP,
Trying to get him to stay. It's all part of the PR campaign.
Player.
All part of the PR campaign.
How do we know he's good at community service? How do we give him that award?
Well, he has the most money. He has the most money to donate, probably.
No,
I think
we don't have any idea if he donated or not.
You know what he's good at?
Did he build any houses in town here? Did I miss
He's
that?
really good at making sure that Bally's knows that if a sick kid comes to the park, it's his doing. Because like every time they'd be like, this little child has been ill for 6 months in Korea, and he'd be there with
They
him.
don't do the voting though.
No, but I'm
know
saying that's why the local chapter's like, oh my God, Carlos Correa's done it again.
Maybe somebody has been in town longer than that that's helping out. I don't know. I think that in the good guy award, the beat guys were going to give it to him because he's the only guy who came out and talked before and after game. So yeah, it was easy for him to be the good guy because he gave us some quotes. I guess I didn't sit on the little 8-minute sparring session he did each day, but he was there all the time. So, but it makes us look silly to even give that award out, right? Who
treated the media the best?
Yeah. People don't care.
The Vikings did do the same
don't
thing.
care. They have that.
Who
too.
manipulated the media into
Corey
writing nice
Stringer,
things
yeah.
the most
You know
often?
what, though?
Good guy award.
In the modern era, you have to accept being manipulated because nobody else is there to talk to.
Yeah.
Nobody else is there. 4 people in the clubhouse after the game. You gotta say, okay, he's a phony, but at least he's saying, at least he's speaking. So it's silly to have that thing. though. It is. There's no doubt about it. But,
So the Vikes' greatest one was a year or two after I got off the beat. They gave it to, and I'm not joking, Percy Harvin, the Good Guy Award. One of the most cantankerous jerks
yes.
that I've ever covered. But that year
Like I
he'd
said.
come out and talked a lot. So they gave him. I said, "How could you people, after I leave, give this to Percy Harvin?"
Never available on Wednesdays because he always had a headache.
He wasn't even available to practice. You're right. Much less talk to the media.
Is that right? He wanted. Wow.
Grandma had died again.
Oh yeah.
No one's grandma died as much as Percy's.
No.
He had 6 different grandmas die.
like-
I feel like during.
Chili, I gotta go, man. Chili dog.
Didn't it take a long time for him to admit why he didn't get here for his opening press conference? That he was, some of it. He was sick.
Yeah.
Well, somehow he never got out of the Atlanta airport.
I think he said he collapsed and they put him in an ambulance and took him to the hospital.
Totally normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a fun 2009. He just was not a good guy.
So what's your number on the Penn State game? Are they going to show up and play a decent game and only get beat by 10, or are they going to let them get routed?
Who's starting at quarterback? I mean, I don't know. It matters.
Well,
a ton,
won't. That's the thing. We won't even know until the first snap, right? I have zero interest in this football. Zero.
Neither team, by the way. Clifford was hurt out there too, so they might be starting their freshman. But their freshman's a 5-star who the Penn State fans want to have play quarterback because they're down on Clifford. So
how does Vegas allow these guys now to get away with no injury report?
I don't know, but
Like you can't bet this game,
no, you can't see what the number. Well,
can you?
luckily, Morgan, you don't have that much more confidence in Morgan going in there and playing well than you would to see if this kid can do it, right?
Tanner Morgan's a terrible quarterback.
Yeah, he's not.
So, like, the line doesn't sway that much
But
based
how about
on
Clifford?
Tanner Morgan.
Right, but I want to know everybody. I mean, Mo Ibrahim get held out of a game. No one knew he was.
I want to know if Mo is playing or not. That's for sure.
He just didn't even play.
What is the number? 2 touchdowns? Is it?
No idea.
I haven't looked. But,
Hold on a second.
I mean, this is the biggest buzzkill Gophers team since PJ Fleck took over.
So the whiteout, we're having the whiteout too. That's supposed to make you fearful.
It's very intimidating. Yeah.
Who gives a damn what color shirts the fans are wearing? If I hear about the whiteout once more,
how about a beige out? Let's do something more creative here.
That's right.
It's a teal out tonight.
Yes, that's right. The whiteout. We're gonna go to Penn State, and it's the whiteout.
A magenta out tonight. We're gonna intimidate the opponents. Yeah. Something like maybe like a red rum. If everyone wore red, that might be intimidating. Looks like the crowd is bleeding 70,000 people.
Did we have the striped pullover deals a couple of weeks ago? Was that did our boys lose with the Purdue game with the hillbilly jeans they wear that are striped?
Like the students?
Students, yeah.
Yeah, they wear those all the time. Yeah.
But supposedly they had a campaign to wear more and more and more, and then.
No, we were gonna be stripes in one section, and then something else in another, and it was supposed to be like a combination. But the brilliance of the stadium is the colored-in seats, which weren't filled the role. So that's why we got all these pictures saying, "Look at the turnout, it's fantastic." I'm like, those are empty seats. Penn State -4 is all, according to CBS Sports. According to. I don't know. I looked it up.
Well, they got smoked by.
Declan's not here. I'm trying my best.
That Michigan game was not competitive, so I think
4 though. Come on, yeah.
Well, you might want to jump on it, Pat.
Huh?
Jump on the line.
I might
Pull a dark star.
I might have to go out to St. Croix.
Yeah, go to St. Croix Casino. Go to Diamond Joe's. Wow. Put a bet down.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't been out there yet. I got to do that. One of these weekends to see the operation. And
if you talk to someone in marketing there, we'd love to work with them. It's Phil Mackey, Judge Zolgad here.
You know what?
Purple Daily.
I'll go with you, Pat.
I would guess that the reason
drink a bunch of beer. You can
I
drive
would
me
guess
around.
that the reason Mystic Lake has not renewed with the track is they haven't their 10-year deal to supplement purses and not put in poker, poker machines and stuff like that. They have poker, but they don't have the machines. Has expired, and I would guess Mystic Lake's trying to extract a promise from the racetrack not to go for a sports book if we pass that illegal gambling.
Interesting.
That would be. I haven't heard that officially, but that's got to be what it is. They want the sports book if there's going to be one, and not have 2 of them within 2 miles of each other. So.
I think we should put 2 in there. I think it would be a blast.
Yes.
The more the merrier. Let's get it.
The TVs are what I love. I love all those TVs and sports books. It's just fantastic.
Well, or you could click channels.
I don't like clicking channels. And I have tried to increase the amount of TVs in the house, but believe it or not, I have been quashed.
You've been rejected?
I have been rejected.
The CEO of the household has
exactly
told you
right.
no?
You used to be able to get that little screen inside the screen.
No, it's gone now.
I did that a couple of times and I could never get it off. So
and it was so small. It was so small. It didn't really help much.
Does that not work anymore? They stopped doing that.
I think those are done.
They don't
right,
sell
Phil?
those TV.
I don't. I can't remember the last time I've seen picture in picture. Yeah, I'm not sure. And then when you can't get it off, it's tough because then you have like an infomercial running for 3 hours. You don't want.
I told you that when we took the big plunge for VCR Plus about 15 years ago. Remember VCR Plus? I found when we were cleaning stuff out about a year ago, I found the unopened package for our VCR Plus. We have so much stuff we bought and never opened. It's unbelievable. An ancient VCR Plus unopened thing. So unreal.
You could probably sell that on eBay as an
It's a
antique
time capsule
now.
thing,
Yeah,
Pat.
you should
bury it. Years from now, they'll unearth it and say, "What is this?" Oh my goodness!
And we'll all be watching tonight to see. Oh wait, we should give the Wild a little credit for their stout victory.
Congrats on a win.
Flower in the nets.
First period, he stopped 6 of 8. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. Last 2 periods, he was fantastic.
Oh, really? So he saved them, huh?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. They didn't play a good game. Again, they did not play a good game. But
Kaprizov with the top shelfer to win it.
Hey, is it okay? I saw the winning goal. There was like 6 guys in the net. None of those were our guys to cause goalie interference. Those were all Vancouver guys.
And the goalie got turned around. He literally had his back to Kaprizov when Kaprizov gathered the puck and roofed it.
And that they were still on the delayed penalty then too, right? They never did get the extra man out there. So, what a glorious victory! It's great.
Flower's good though, Pat. You would like him. He's fun to cover. He got done with his talking to us at a stall last night. Leaned back and said, "F." He's just like exhausted.
Oh, really?
He's fun to cover. He's an old veteran. He's not cranky, but he's a personality.
Now, we don't have anybody who can talk to him in French, unfortunately, right? And just think when he was in Montreal,
I quit for pottery, so no,
he had
I can't.
to do it. He had to do it in two languages back then, and I bet the French guys were on him something fierce because they can ask questions forever and ever and ever. So, anyway, all right, gents.
All right, Pat. Enjoy your weekend.
Fine weekend without a Viking game.
Enjoy Red Zone Channel on Sunday. Yes. All right.
All right, Reusse.
All right, wrapping with Reusse, presented by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. They've been around for over 100 years, almost as long as Patrick has been ripping Minnesota sports teams. But they help your business reach a new level of success through risk management tools and resources. You can find a full list of industries that they specialize in at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours.